That is YK just July 2019. Affordable housing, future of urban development. Definition: affordable housing refers to housing units that are affordable by that section of society whose income is below the median household income. Reasons behind the current housing deficit: increasing pressure on land, non-availability of it to poor at affordable prices, real estate speculations in urban areas, regulatory hurdles, red tapeism, lack of speedy clearances, high fees and taxes, unfavorable development norms especially for low-income groups, high gestation period of housing projects, spiraling land and construction cost, and non-availability of adequate credit. Affordable housing needs to be coupled with proper transport, which lacks in most of the cases, forcing them to live in slums. Owning the house, bedrock of possibilities. Providing stable, affordable housing is a major first step to establishing and sustaining the basic standard of living for every household. Many who live in slums have little to no control over or ownership of the property they live on. The formal financial sector is unable to serve them. Once titled, they could obtain access to several public benefits, including loans. Housing is often the bedrock of other development interventions. Owning land boosts health profiles, educational outcomes, and gender equality. The converse is equally true. A decent habitat for the poorer sections of society will not only contribute towards their well-being and real asset creation, but also catalyze overall social and economic growth. The priority for housing ought to be higher than education and health. For many people in the developing world, the land on which they live is their only asset. If that property is not publicly recognized as belonging to them, they lose out on social benefits. Giving slum residents basic property rights would encourage residents to invest in home improvement and encourage municipalities to provide infrastructure and better services. Upgradation rather relocation should be an option. Several attempts to relocate slum dwellers to the city's fringes have failed because the location restricts the access of residents to employment, schools, and other amenities. Slum dwellers favor upgradation of existing facilities and secure tenancy. That is YK just July 2019. www.yababa.com page 6. Urbanization in India. Rise in the service sector, rise in disposable income, rise in aspirations and standard of living. Urbanization, rapid urbanization is a reality for emerging markets, and India is no exception. Currently, urban India houses 377 million people, making up 32% of the country's population. This is expected to increase to 40% with close to 600 million urban dwellers by 2030. SDG 11 makes cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. While the SDGs seek to achieve their objectives by 2030, PMKU looks to ensure each Indian has a home by 2022. Pradhan Mantri was YOJANA PMK. Aim: affordable housing for all mission. Timeline: to be achieved by the year 2022, when India will be completing its 75 years of independence. The housing shortage in the country is still pegged at close to 19 million. By Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation MOHUPA will follow the cooperative federalism model. The objective of Pradhan Mantri was YOJANA PMK housing for all. Affordable homes with water connection, toilet facilities, 24/7 electricity supply, and complete access to courthouses to be built across nation's length and breadth, targeting the lower income groups, LIG, and economically weaker section of our society, EWs, basically the urban poor. By the year 2022, 2 million non-slum urban poor households are proposed to be covered. How Pradhan Mantri was YOJANA PMK will work. PMK housing scheme will work by providing central assistance to urban local bodies, ULBs, as well as other employed agencies through state/ups for building on-site rehabilitation of the existing slum inhabitants by commencing private participation for using poor land area as a resource, by providing credit-linked subsidy, initiating affordable housing in partnership. That is YK just July 2019. www.yababa.com page 7. Granting subsidy to the beneficiary for individual house construction/enhancement. Government, a catalyst. Budget 2017 to 18. Affordable housing was given infrastructure status 2018 to 19. institutionalized an affordable housing fund under the National Housing Bank to boost financing in the sector. Section 80 of income tax provides for 100% deduction of profits for affordable housing projects to encourage private participation in the mission. The City Livability Index has been recently launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Ushering in the much-needed change is imperative in bridging the gap between housing deficit and the ongoing supply of housing units across the country. Strong partnerships. The government partnering with private players is a key success driver in the development of affordable housing projects through a commercially viable project structure. The policy pool that caters to innovative implementation methods that foster healthy competition between strong developers in the market will ensure effective and sustained growth of the sector. Innovative finance mechanisms. Innovative PPP models make room for finance mechanisms that provide relief to the private developers and provide a thrust in the right direction to the affordable housing sector to encourage the private developers to participate in the affordable housing demand analysis. Optimized allocation of the planned housing stock to the right section of the population is a key growth retardant to the number of vacant and unsold inventory. And developing affordable housing units with access to modes of transportation, better connectivity, quality health care and education, proximity to community services, etc. is the need of the day. Single window clearances. This measure will stimulate the supply of viable affordable housing by minimizing construction cost overruns owing to delay in approvals to substantial levels. Construction tech. Leveraging the benefits of new advancements in the construction sector will have long-term implications on cost, quality and safety of the housing units. Adopting low-cost construction technology such as prefabrication will help developers construct units at lower costs and at a quicker pace. The higher initial cost of technology is compensated by lower labor costs and higher efficiency in construction. YOJANA is YKGist, July 2019. www.yojana.com, page 8. Standards. Monitoring. Introducing monitoring mechanisms to ensure delivery of quality homes to the beneficiary population will not only imply enhanced living standards but also strengthen sector values. Guidelines prescribing standards for construction methods, technology, material as well as execution and implementation along with efficient monitoring mechanisms will help streamline the project right from observation to the sale/rent of property to the target population. Innovative maintenance mechanisms result in sustainable development and longer life of affordable housing units. Referred. Mind map formulating the national urban policy transforming cities. Connecting the dots. 1. Homelessness is a serious challenge in India. Discuss the importance of owning a house and the ways government can ensure ownership rights for maximum population including those living in slums. 2. Bringing in private players into frame of affordable housing scheme will no longer keep the housing affordable. Do you agree with the statement? Evaluate. 3. Government schemes do not only face implementation or structural challenges but are also subject to social challenges. Discuss. Suggest a strategy for overcoming